She wasn't breathing properly. She was lying there. And yeah, they told me to keep her upright. And as I kept her upright, that was the moment she kind of slipped.
I feel like when my mum went, I went too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I went too. I don't think since then I've been the same. I don't think I will ever be the same. I don't know what normal looks like. I don't know what normal feels like. I don't know. I'm just winging life right now. My name's Billz.
Yeah, I'm Kingofaccents.
Yeah, and boy, can we talk? King, do you wanna talk? Do you wanna explain, or should I, you know what? I'm gonna say my part. Why I feel like what we did this, and I'm sure you can.
Yeah, and then I'll give my take.
Yeah, cool. So, can we talk? Why we called it Can We Talk? Because I went through something that was quite close to me, and it really tore me apart. And then King went through something that was quite close to him, and it tore him apart. I'm sure he will speak about that further. But like, we used to talk a lot before, and then we stopped talking, and then we got close again, and
due to circumstances.
Yeah, and then we used to touch base every week, have a little check-in, and talk about how we're feeling. And
just something new.
Yeah, something
I haven't done
new.
it before, but it was working. So
exactly. Yeah.
Before we take it to
Right, and then yeah, because now we're doing a podcast, and it's talking about like how we feel individually, and you know, for me as a man, it can be difficult to speak at times. So
100%. It
was just a matter of sharing how we feel, and there might be people out there that are listening, and you know, they may not want to speak, but they can listen and understand and relate to what we may be able to go through, and so it'll be good for them to understand that they're not alone in this battle. So yeah, so where we are, boy. I'm overwhelmed but excited at the same time, and I guess it's just the start of a new journey for us, 2020, and it's all about, can we talk?
Yeah, let's talk, man.
Let's talk. Do you know what? The only way this is gonna actually make the audience understand why we did what we did is only if we be able to share what we've experienced, because then they'll be like, oh, okay, so this is why you did what you did. All right, cool. So so it's more of just, actually today it's more about us sharing our experiences and letting the audience know this is a safe space for everyone. But in order for us to create as a safe space, we have to set the tone.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's more of like, so obviously you explained earlier that there was a part where you had a, how can we say it? It was a nasty time for you.
Yeah. Really,
and
really nasty.
I guess it's just a bit of understanding what that nasty time looked like for you. So
Cool.
like, tell me more. What, like, you know.
So I've lost quite a few people close to me. My uncle was murdered. Grandmother died at 63. But 2 years ago, I mean, the worst happened. Anyone who's a parent will understand the unconditional love you have for your child, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Had a 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And perfectly healthy child.
Yeah.
She probably the most intelligent child I've ever met. She knew her colours.
Amazing.
She knew light shade from dark shade.
Yeah.
Speech was incredible. Nothing wrong with her. Came home one night. She was feeling a bit unwell.
Yeah.
I slept in her room. Her mum slept, in our bedroom.
Yeah.
And just to kind of keep an eye on her.
So was you keeping an eye on her?
No, so I was in my daughter's room.
In your daughter's room, and your daughter was in with your mum. And okay.
With my daughter.
Yep.
So basically we live together. Let's put some context.
Yeah.
So we live together. 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
I'm in my daughter's room. Mrs. is with her daughter in our bed.
Got you. Yeah.
It's gonna get. I'm not gonna make it too graphic. But I'll get woken up about 7 a.m. to say that daughter's not really breathing properly. Let's take her to the hospital. And then my missus made her instinctive decision to call the ambulance. So we spoke to the ambulance. She wasn't breathing properly. She was lying there. And yeah, they told me to keep her upright. And as I kept her upright, that was the moment she kind of slipped. And I didn't realize, I thought she was just unconscious. And yeah, man. Yeah.
And see, this is the reason why we're doing this, because King, I would never have known if I never knew you and I just watched your context on Insta and social media, for example, and I never knew you, I would think personally that you got everything going well for yourself. Because every time I'm seeing you on Insta, you're doing some funny videos, you're making people laugh. Like, I would never have imagined the pain that you may be going through. And this is the reason why this is one of the reasons why the podcast started.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people hide behind their pain.
Yeah.
And I'm quite a proud person. And I mean, I like to just get on with things.
Yeah.
So people would never know that I lost my daughter. And I was there to see it all unfold in front of my eyes. People won't know.
And you know what? I first of all thank you and commend you for being so strong. And I thank you for sharing that with me today.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for being there at the time, man.
And
Appreciate
you know, and you know what? In life, I've been brought up to expect our parents to go first, so we bury our parents, and then it's the children. So for it to be another way around, it's like, how do you deal with this?
I don't wish that on my worst enemy, bro. Let me tell you that.
So when she was taken to hospital, did they say anything?
So basically, the paramedics came.
Yeah.
Said cardiac arrest. I didn't know what that was at the time, but I know it wasn't good. Or I knew it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Cardiac arrest just simply means, for those people that don't know, your heart stops beating. So yeah, they tried to resuscitate her for about 50 minutes.
50?
Yeah, between there to the hospital.
Okay,
and on the hospital table. And nothing. And then when it came down to it, after doing everything, come back as sudden infant death. So it's a thing of there's no closure. It's just...
So there was nothing medically wrong with your daughter?
Wrong at all. She was perfectly healthy, and it's just one of those things. Depends if you're spiritual or not. It just...
Yeah,
one minute you're here, the next minute you're not.
I guess for those that will maybe asking, what does perfectly healthy look like?
Full of energy,
yeah,
full of life, using your full brain capacity,
yeah,
giving love,
yeah,
having a personality.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like to me. And yeah, that was in June of 2017.
And so that was what you can say 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your world look like now? Like how you know, how did it feel for you?
Big void. There was 3 of us at the time.
Yeah.
Then boiled down to 2. And you can imagine as a family, you know, what that does. Like, your whole world is shattered. It's like someone literally having a rug and pulling it from beneath you, and then you drop, and you're literally trying to hang on to something.
Yeah. That's
not there. I'm trying to grasp onto something, and there's nothing there, bro. So that's what it looks like. And at the time,
yeah.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, we'll talk about this more in detail, but
no, absolutely. I just want to. It's just to understand and captivate more about, you know, you suffer such trauma, and with those 2 years, for like I said, for someone that didn't know, if someone that don't know you just followed you on your social media, they would think that you've got a good life.
I have people that I work with that don't know what I've been through.
So the way I see it, you're masking that really well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do that. That sometimes we're left with no choice to mask our emotions and our pain, because of responsibilities or the whole taboo that, you know, men can't express their feelings. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you are expressing your feelings, then you are almost classed as a emotional person or a weak person. So for you,
quite the opposite, man. That's what I realized. It's literally quite the opposite.
Yeah.
I feel like the more you express, and this is for anyone that's listening, talking from my perspective, the more you express, the better you feel. The more you try and cram up your emotions, the more it eats you up inside, man.
And you know what? I would love to ask you how you coped, and how you coped with it all. But I guess it's more. We'll come back. We'll come to the coping,
we'll come back to that.
We'll come to the coping side of things a bit later. But it's more of understanding how you dealt with that trauma instantly, because it is.
It's a shock to the system, man.
Yeah.
It's like anything that reminds you of anything. You know, where she sadly passed in the house that we stayed in.
Yeah.
We just never went back there.
So is that trigger?
We just moved out straight away.
So you moved out?
Yeah.
Okay.
As in, I went back to my parents.
Yeah.
Mrs. went back to her parents. That was it. But yeah, man, I thank you for being there for me, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I appreciate
like
that.
my support network is what really helped me. But yeah, we'll go back more into that.
No, definitely. But do you know what?
Go on.
I have one question for you.
Go on.
Before we move on, I have one question, and I guess what I want to really understand and get from you was, yes, I'm aware, your daughter passed, and that is a huge thing. And I'll be honest with you, it's a shitty feeling that I will never understand, because I'm not a parent yet. But one thing I want to understand from you is, within yourself, as a man, as a human, how did you see the world after that?
Bro, I lost all my senses, man.
Yeah.
I keep it real. I had no desire for nothing. It's just a big pot of emptiness.
Yeah.
If you imagine this little being that you're her world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? My daughter. Anyone that has a daughter knows, proper daddy's girl.
Yeah.
You're her world, she's your world. And there's no negotiation now. She's not there anymore. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. Gone.
Yeah.
So there's just a big void, big pool of emptiness, really. And you kind of don't know what to do with yourself but cry every fucking minute. I don't know if we can swear, but...
Hey, listen, this is our podcast.
Minute,
we do what we want to do because we're expressing ourselves. So if you have to express yourselves by talking, if you got to express yourself by swearing...
That's a good point, actually.
If you got to express yourself by dancing, or if you want to express yourself by staying here quiet, then so be it, because you're expressing yourself. Sometimes people, like, I know you said that we have to talk. Sometimes your company is enough for me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
facts.
swear as much as you want, because I want you to talk. I want you to express yourself.
Within reason, people.
Huh?
I said within reason, people.
Yeah. I don't want to start cussing people.
Yeah.
But no, share as much as you want to share. It's like, it's about you. This is, like I said, this is a safe space. I want you to be as open as you want. And
likewise yourself.
Yeah, I know.
I'm coming to you.
Yeah,
coming for you, Billz.
Listen,
yeah.
Nah, but do you know what? I remember, because when your daughter passed.
Pause. Yeah, go on.
Pause, No, but when your daughter passed away, I remember coming to your house.
Yeah.
And then when I was driving to your house, I was just thinking to myself, how am I gonna relate to this guy? Like, what am I gonna say to him? I can't even. I can't share the feeling with you. I don't know what it feels like.
Presence alone, trust me, your presence alone. Anyone that came to just presence alone was enough. You didn't have to say anything.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But you know what I'm saying? Because I've lost a lot of people that I know. And it's like, but it's still not, because I'm going home and my home life is safe. So when I come to visit you, I'm thinking I'm going to go home. I'm going to go sleep, watch a bit of something and go sleep. But where you're not going to go sleep. And it's like, that contrast, how am I going to deal with it? So when I was driving to you, I was just thinking, what am I going to say to him? What am I going to do? I was just thinking, like, right, I might just, but it's not easy. So when I come to see you, it's funny, because luckily other people that were there, I knew I could speak to them, because I'm not going to lie to you, fam, you was there. It's like someone being at home, but the lights are on, but no one's at home.
Bro, I told you, it's just that emptiness.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you can relate to.
Yeah, because 2 months later, I had similar trauma.
Talk to us about that, Billz.
Boy. Right. So, obviously, when your daughter passed, whilst I come to attend, show my respect to your house, my mum was... still going through the transition. She was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow. So can I just ask you a quick question there? Like,
Yeah.
when she was first diagnosed, how did that make you feel?
Do you know what? She was diagnosed prior to that in, I think, November times, and I remember rightly that day I was working and I was out in Croydon feeding the homeless.
Wow.
Yeah, and I remember my dad called me because my mum and dad went to the hospital together for the appointment, and my dad called me, and obviously I feel like my dad panicked when he heard what he heard, and he couldn't really share his words with me. So I spoke to my brother, and my brother was like, "Don't worry, everything will be alright." I spoke to my sister. My sister was like, "Yeah, don't worry. Look, when you come home, we'll talk." So yeah, at that time, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel because I just felt like, okay, she's got it, but you know, it's not end of the world. We can resolve the situation. So I didn't know how to feel. I feel like maybe it was a shock, and I just bypassed. I didn't really take it on. And yeah, so she was diagnosed with cancer, and then the first appointment I went with my sister, because me and my sister would go to my mum's all my mum's appointments, whilst my other siblings took care of the house and everything. And yeah, so she was diagnosed with cancer, and 2 months after your daughter passed, same year, 2017, in August, so June. Yeah, so in August, my mum passed away. But yeah.
What a year, huh?
Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. I don't know, because like I said to you, when I was driving to yours, I didn't know what it would feel like, and I couldn't relate to you.
So you were how old at the time, if you don't mind sharing that?
Yeah, huh?
You were how old at the time, if you don't mind sharing that? Just to give perspective, you know?
Like, all right, so I was 28 when I lost my mum, but my mum was mum is still my world, even though she's not here with me today. Like that's my
great woman, man.
That's my queen right there. And you know how I lost my mum and how it all happened, I still haven't been able to come to terms with it, because my mum had cancer, as I said, and I changed my mum's diet. So I made her become alkaline, and I did it with her, as I became alkaline myself as well.
Proactive. Yeah,
but my mum, obviously, my mum's a religious woman, and she prayed a lot. So we all prayed, and you know, Allah listened to our prayers and supported us through the journey, and with the diet as well. Even though despite the cancer cells has spread, they got smaller.
Okay.
So the doctor said they're not gonna do chemo on her.
Right.
Yeah. So whilst my mum was going through the cancer journey, my auntie passed away back home in Pakistan. So my mum couldn't obviously go to the funeral or anything as such, because she's got cancer. She's not allowed to travel.
Yeah.
So what we decided is, when the doctor said, you know, they're not going to treat her cancer cells was gone smaller, we asked, can we take my mum abroad? And they were like, yeah. So my mum was like, right, cool, I'm going to go to Dubai to visit my sister lives there. And plus I had a project there. So it fit perfect. And then she was like, all right, well, whilst you're there, then from there I'm going to go to Pakistan and visit the grave and just go around and then come back. So we said, fine. So I was working in Dubai for a week. So me, my mum and my nephew went to Dubai. Spent the week there. I enjoyed my time with my mum. And the last 2 days, my mum was acting different. Like, she was very clingy on me.
Wow.
Like, and I'm sure, you know, my sister can relate to this. She was being clingy, holding my hand, wanting to do anything I wanted to do.
You feel like she knew, bro? Yeah.
And on the last day, I remember rightly, she was complaining that she had a headache, and she was very quiet. And we was driving to the airport because they were dropping me off for me to come back to London, and then the next day my mum was gonna go to Pakistan. And from Dubai to Pakistan is about 2 hours, I think. So they were dropping me off to the airport, and she dropped me inside. And usually when me and my mum apart from each other at anything, my mum always looks back to make sure that I'm okay, checks on me, that I'm gone through. You see this time, bro, yeah, I'd looked back on my mum, but my mum never looked back on me. She didn't turn around. So she said we hugged and kissed, and she walked, and she didn't turn around. So I stood there and I watched her, and I kid you not, I waited for her to turn around, and she did not turn around, fam.
You knew something was definitely wrong.
So I was like, raw, that mum being heartless on me right now, yeah? What's going on? I'm going to cuss her. Because me and mum, I always bust jokes with my mum, innit? And I wind her up. And I was just like, raw, what's going on here? She didn't turn around. So anyway, that kind of affected me. So I was in a grump already. So I got on the plane and I'm thinking, wait till I get off. I'm going to like have words with her. Innit? Fam, when I landed back in London, it was late hours. The next morning, she flew out to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I remember rightly, bruv, I got a call from my brother and he asked me where I was. No, I got missed calls from my brother and my sister.
This is the following morning.
The following morning, I got missed calls from my brother and my sister. And they're like, where are you? What's going on? Come home. And I was like, what's going on? And they were like, come home, mum's hurt herself. But I never understood. I'm like, okay, mum's hurt herself. So I said, all right, cool, I'm coming. I'm at, and I remember rightly, I'm driving home from, and then I get a phone call saying that my dad called me and says, oh, it's internal bleeding. And then I still, obviously, I'm not aware of the whole situation, innit? So I don't understand what's going on still. Yeah. I'm obviously getting bits and pieces from my brother. I'm getting bits and pieces from my sister, bits and pieces from my dad. So I'm making phone calls. I'm like, raw, I need to get my mum back into this country, or do I need to go out there? Like, you're panicking. Yeah, and I remember rightly, I remember what road I'm on, and I'm driving when I got, like, and it was just triggering me bad. I got home and we're trying to resolve the situation, and my dad's like, no, I'm going to go back home. So we're trying to sort a ticket out. And I remember me, my brother and my dad were upstairs in my brother's room just trying to sort the ticket out. And I heard my sister scream downstairs. That was it for me, bro. That was it.
You knew from the scream?
Yeah. I went downstairs and they said what they said. And yeah, that was it. After that, since then, I'm on autopilot.
So the same question you asked me, bro. What was it like, that initial shock, like getting that news? How did you feel, like, to your core? What was Bill's world like at that moment?
Do you know what?
Because it's not something you expected.
I feel like when my mum went, I went too.
Yeah. I'm
not gonna lie to you. I feel like I went too. I don't think since then I've been the same. I don't think I will ever be the same. I don't know what normal looks like. I don't know what normal feels like. I don't know. I'm just winging life right now. And since then I have been, because my mom was my world. She had me grounded, and you know,
I understand, bro.
And that was it for me. After that, do you know what? You know what affected me the most? Yeah, I know. I have to understand and accept that everyone's gonna go one day, and unfortunately, it was my mum that had to go this instant. But I didn't get to go to my mum's funeral. I watched my mum's funeral on Skype, and that.
Well, was that because you couldn't make it yourself?
Couldn't make it myself.
As in, you didn't want to go. As in, it was too painful.
Nah, there's no way I didn't want to go. Of course, I wanted to go, but I guess in Islamic countries, in Islam in general, we have to bury the person within a certain amount of days.
Yeah, true.
And back home, they don't have freezers and all that kind of stuff that how you have here.
Yeah,
it's a hot country.
Yeah.
They don't have them facilities, so they were just saying, and we couldn't bring her back here because they were saying we're gonna put the body because there's no freezers.
Wow.
So they were just like, we're gonna have to bury her. My dad flew out.
I was gonna say, was there any of your family that
my dad didn't make it to the funeral either.
Wow.
So my mum was buried by close relatives. So we didn't make it to my mum's funeral. And I remember rightly, I was on the floor sitting down. There was a gathering and everyone was sitting down, and they brought the phone to me. And I remember looking at her when they were lowering my mum's body.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, not something anybody needs to...
Do you know?
See, and this, especially not that early.
Nah.
Life.
And yeah, that since then, life's just, this whole world has been it's been a different image for me.
So then, I don't know, I guess the next topic, I guess we should talk about coping mechanisms. I mean, now we've shared our stories.
Yeah.
How do we move on from that? Like, after that initial shock, how do we then cope from that initial shock to where you are now? And even moving forward, like, what is it? How do we cope?
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not easy.
I don't know. Do you know what? When we was born, we wasn't given a manual on how to live our lives. So coping, like I never understood mental health. I never understood anxiety. I never understood depression. I never knew what any of them feel like. So when I've lost my mum and I'm not sleeping, and I'm getting flashbacks and I'm sweating, waking up, I'm sweating, I'm throwing up. Like, and people are telling me that's anxiety, and I'm just like, what's anxiety?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I never
It's all
knew.
new concepts to you.
Yeah, and I'm just like, raw. I don't know how to even, like, I took anxiety and depression, all that kind of stuff as a joke. I'm just like, how can you get that? What are you talking about, man? Matt, fix up.
Yeah.
And then when I'm going through sleepless nights and I'm hearing noises in my head, and I'm just like, I'm seeing flashbacks of my sister's scream, and I'm seeing flashbacks of my mom's body getting lowered on Skype, and then all those things. I'm just thinking, what? Yeah. So for me, coping, I guess it's not. I think the coping word is not the word that we need to use right now. I think it's more of survival, for me anyway. Because I haven't coped.
It's just getting by.
Yeah, because I haven't coped with my mum's death.
But this is why I didn't. If you notice in terms of the wording, I didn't say coped.
Yeah.
How have you coped?
Yeah. Okay.
There's no
wordplay. Yeah.
Wordplay. You understand? There's no end to it.
Yeah.
That's why I said coping. How are you coping? Like,
okay.
How do you people out there who have lost your loved ones also? How do you cope?
Yeah, I guess
it's a never-ending struggle.
Yeah, I guess it's a question for the audience as well, and I'm sure when they're listening, they're like, "Right, this is how I coped," or "I'm not even coping." Like, because a lot of people turn to smoking and drinking.
Did you do that?
Yeah, some people turn to partying and just.
Did you?
What did I do?
Yeah, did you ever turn? I know you're.
No, I
Muslim,
don't. Yeah, no, I'm not.
But, you know,
yeah, as a Muslim, I wouldn't
can...
do that, and I didn't turn to smoking or drinking.
That's good.
I guess I just went quiet because I had to obviously support my dad and my brother and my sisters and my nephews and nieces. So, I to be honest with you, I've not come to terms with my mum's death, and I've winged life.
You're winging it every day, innit?
Every day.
Yeah, man.
But there was a time when I started speaking to you, and that's when I said I need to start taking action because I need to come to terms with it. But it's going to take me a while to come to terms with it. But I want to share my story, and
it needs to be shared, man.
Yeah,
it's a special story. It's unique to you for one.
Yeah,
and I'm sure there are some of listeners out there that can relate in some way, shape or form. Yeah,
I guess this is the reason why our bonds got closer, because remember I was saying to you earlier that even though our circumstances are quite different, because you lost your daughter, I lost my mum, but the whole bereavement, the void feeling brought us closer to a reason why we're doing what we're doing today. And I guess you can share how you dealt with it, that could be relatable to some people, and then I can share how I dealt with it, that could be relatable to some.
I guess that's part of the coping mechanism.
Yeah, I guess so.
I have to emphasize the ing.
Yeah. Coping.